Good morning, everyone. Let's start our chapter number 8, Arithmetic Line Graphs or Time Series Graph of Statistics, Class 11th. Now, in this chapter, we shall study about the different statistical time series graph. Now, when a set of a graphical or statistical data are present on a graph paper, that is called a graph. As we earlier also knows that whatever the statistical data or information we have collected, it is presented in a graph in a proper way. So, as it is clear that the statistical data are presented on the graph paper. Now, presenting the data on a graph paper, we have assumed that we get different points, and each of that particular points are corresponding to each other of a value of statistical series. By joining the points and by joining that points, we can have a proper line correspondent to an arithmetic value of variables under studies, like for example the value of export or import. Therefore, a graph showing arithmetic values or a variable that shows on a graph paper is called arithmetic graph or arithmetic line graph. Often such graphs are constructed to present the time series of data, that is a data like value of export or import, or corresponding to different weeks, different days, different month, or even year. Therefore, arithmetic lines graph are often called time series graph. So in our first point, we can study that construction of a graph, how the graph would be constructed on the basis of time series. On this time series graph or construction of graph, here you can see that a graph paper is there in which O point is there. From O point, X or X1 axis is going horizontally and vertically, Y and Y axis are there. We assume that Y and X series is in positive point, and here it is a X negative and Y is in positive, whereas in downward you can see minus X minus Y is there and plus X and minus Y quadrilateral are shown here. Now, after that construction of a graph, we have to keep in our mind the size and the nature of particular data. Is a suitable intersecting point on a graph paper, like here it shows. Now that point of origin is indicated as point O. In the adjacent picture, horizontal and vertical line are intersecting each other through this point. That point is known as O. These both the lines y and x axis are known as axis, and horizontal line from left to right is called horizontal axis, which is left to right, that is your x1 to x, and abacus or x axis. The line going upward to downward is known as vertical line, or we can say as vertical axis, which is y to y1, and the axis x-axis and y-axis are mutually perpendicular to each other. Now these axes divided the plane of paper in the different two parts. Each parts are known as quadrant. As in graph given previous page, the point of origin in the graph is indicated as English letter, that is known as O. The positive value of x are taken towards the right hand side of that particular graph, and y towards the upper side on a vertical line is having a positive side, as well as negative values of x are taken toward the left hand side of the particular graph, and on the horizontal line you can see, and y towards the lower side of the vertical line. Thus in the quadrant both x and y are having positive in the second, and x is a negative in the y is positive. In the third quadrant, both x and y are having negative lines, and fourth, that is x1, is a positive, and while y is a negative in form. In most cases, the data are presented in these figures. Now, some of the rules for constructing a graph were: firstly, we have to put the heading of that particular graph, whatever the graph is based on that. Every graph must have a suitable or proper heading. Heading must be self-explanatory and doesn't having any confusion on that, and about the particular information which you are creating for the particular graph. Now, choice of scale is the second rule for constructing graph. Whatever the scale you are choosing for the proper class interval, one should fix an appropriate scale for which data should be presented. An appropriate scale on the on by which the entire data are easily represented by the graph. The graph should be on the middle of the graph paper. That point O will start from the middle of the graph paper. Next, third rule of the proper graph making is proportion of axis. As far as possible, the length of x-axis on the graph paper should be 1.5 times less than the y-axis. Fourth method, of plotting of the points. Economics is and business statistics are generally in positive way. The particular graph would be made in a positive way. These are the to be presented the first quadrant, that half portion of that particular graph. Accordingly, the point of origin is fixed and left and lower proportion of the graph paper. On the y-axis, the points are plotted from the left to right, and on y-axis the points are plotted towards the upward to bottom to the top. Fifth rule of that graph making is lines of different types. For if more than one line or two lines are to be drawn in the same graph, these lines should be differentiated with each other from creating the different types of line. Like you can use the broken line or the dotted line or the simple bold line. A structure would be there, or you can use different color pen for this, for having a different lines on a different type of graph. Now, table of a data should be clear. It would be very useful if you give the table of along with the graph of the data. This helps in verification of graph whatever you have created. That particular graph we can verify, or we can check that particular graph from the particular table of data. Seventh point, use of false line is there in the graph. We can use the false line, like here you can see it's a double quoted line or double quoted parallel line indicated in a graph for assuming the false data. If the data is in more in number, then we can use this false line. If the value of a series are very large and the difference between the smallest value and 0 is the highest value. If these values are to be indicated on y-axis of the graph, then y-axis is start somewhere above the 0. You can see over here, or above the point O. Taken as example illustration, suppose in 2016 35,000 tons of sugar demanded, whereas in 2017 35,200 tons of sugar is demanded, and now in next other year 2018 it's a 35,800 tons of sugar had been demanded. So the class interval of between all these three different years, the sugar is not in proper proportionate. So in such case, the difference between minimum quantity of sugar is 35,000, whereas 0 is very large. From 0 to 35,000, we cannot assume a proper class interval of that in a particular graph. So we can assume as a double false line over here, and we can write 35,000 immediately after 0 on y-axis after creating this false line. And if done, the entire data will be represented on the very small proportion of the graph of the paper. A large proportion of graph paper will go to waste. Like 0 to 35,000, if we are taking, or if we are taking 10,000 difference from the graph, it would be a very large, and the graph paper we required is very large in quantity. Its size could be very differ from this original one, so we can assume a false line for that. We overcome this difficulty by showing a simple cut or nick or parallel line on the y-axis, as earlier we have seen, by adjoining the picture. On the other hand, if these values are to be indicated on x-axis, so we just simply put like this, a triangular shape in a x-axis. For the same thing, the last rule to creating a graph is to draw a line or a curve. We mark different points on graph paper corresponding to different values of a series. These points are joined to make line or a curve. The joining line must be uniform throughout the length. It should not be of different thickness as it is different points. Another topic we would continue in our next